With Assassin's Creed Mirage scheduled to release on October 5th, right around the corner, looking good, the franchise has been getting a ton of attention from the internet, although it's probably not as much as Ubisoft would have wanted to do to all the talk about Starfield and Baldur's Gate 3 right now, but that's okay. 2023 apparently turned into the year of epic RPGs, so Ubisoft dropping a return-to-form stealth game less than a month after Starfield may not actually work out as they were hoping, but I still think the game is going to perform well and be a great time. But it's also no secret that Assassin's Creed Mirage is kind of the end of an era for this franchise. It is the last game to be released on the One and the PS4. It's the last game to come out before the launch of the AC Infinity platform. Now, granted, there's some rumors that Mirage is going to be incorporated into the AC Infinity post-launch, but once Infinity comes out, everything else is going to tie into that. So what does that mean with Ubisoft and what they have in mind for the future of the franchise? Well, what's actually in store for us once Mirage is old news, which will be soon. Today, we're going over everything about every single Assassin's Creed game in development, the ones you know about, the ones you don't know about, the ones that are in secrecy, both officially announced and leaked from credible sources. So you let me know in the comments, which AC game are you most excited for? Drop a like, and it's going to be a wild ride in the AC universe for the next 5 to 10 years. But before we move on, let's get off AC for a second. What about The Witcher? G Fuel has put up their pre-orders for the Tawny Owl Potion. That's right, the Witcher G Fuel formula. You guys check it out. Link is at the top of the description. You can get the collector box if it's still available. You get the shaker, you get the tub, you get the box, all of it. Go check it out. Pre-order is up. Be sure to take advantage. So, first on the docket is Assassin's Creed Nexus, which is a VR exclusive. Let me ask you guys, do any of you play VR? My son Grady literally logs in probably an hour every day or two on his VR. He absolutely loves it. I just haven't been able to get into it. Do you think it'll ever become mainstream? If it does, Nexus is going to be there. It's been leaked a million times before, it being officially announced earlier this year with a cinematic trailer that it got pretty smashed with dislikes because there was no gameplay, which I guess is understandable in today's day and age. AC Nexus is reportedly coming out this holiday season. It will be playable on the MetaQuest Pro, the MetaQuest 2, and the base MetaQuest. So, if you want to play it on anything other than a Meta, you're probably not going to have an option during the launch window. Ubisoft has a tendency to release new games as launcher exclusives on PC for the first year or so before they actually release them elsewhere, so it's entirely possible that Nexus comes to non-Meta headsets probably 365 days after it releases. We'll see. Same way Ubisoft games go to Steam a year-ish after their launch on Uplay in the Epic Games Store, but I wouldn't put too much stock in that. Now, Nexus has 3 confirmed playable characters. You've got E, you've got Cassandra, you've got Connor. It's going to feature a ton of different locations, various time periods throughout Assassin's Creed history. It's currently unclear how exactly the game is going to play once everything is in motion, but it's confirmed that we'll be able to play and do the iconic leap of faith in VR, which, honestly, I would buy the headset and buy the game just to experience that. So after Nexus, the next game on the release schedule is Infinity, which isn't really a game as much as it is a platform for future projects. This is the most important thing for Ubisoft. Infinity will be the hub for all future Assassin's Creed games, serve as a launcher for everything while also providing an overarching story that connects it all. That's right, we're going to get how would you say that? ACU, Assassin Cinematic Universe? I don't know. It's a little unclear right now how story-driven Infinity is going to be, but Ubisoft has alluded to the fact that there's going to be a narrative within the hub that connects everything going forward, possibly even provides new context for previous Assassin's Creed games as they get added to the service. There's no solid release date for Infinity yet, but I would expect it to launch before the end of 2024, and the first new AC release will be Codename Red. Think of it like this. If they have an overarching story that's in the background playing through Infinity through all the others, think of the Infinity Saga. I know I keep doing Marvel references, but Thanos in the background for the first 10 years, right? It's kind of going on in the background and then starts to heat up. I think that's what they're going to go for. Now, let's talk about Codename Red. It will be set in feudal Japan. Have you playing as a ninja in an open-world RPG setting. So despite Assassin's Creed Mirage being smaller scale and linear, AC Red's going to go right back to the massive open-world RPGs of the other recent Assassin's Creed games, which could be good or bad depending on who you ask. If you ask me, I'm for it. I think it's a good fit for a game about a shinobi warrior. Ubisoft has also described Red as the future of our open-world RPG game, so expect it to play very differently than other games like Valhalla and Odyssey. The game is currently being worked on by Ubisoft Quebec, the same team that made Syndicate, and the same team that made Odyssey. So it's a very experienced team behind the wheel. And through all of this, We also know Ubisoft is working on a mobile game called Assassin's Creed codenamed Jade. There's actually a closed beta going on right now. The game features full-fledged Assassin's Creed gameplay, but in a mobile format, which is actually pretty impressive, and it looks pretty impressive so far. AAA devs can do some pretty amazing things with mobile tech now, and Jade is a great example of that. We don't know what exactly the game is coming out or what it's going to be like. It is being beta tested, so I would guess a full 1.0 release sometime in 2024. Let's keep going. After AC Red, the next mainline game on Ubisoft's official schedule is codename Hex. Very mysterious project we don't know a whole lot about right now, but we do know Ubisoft wants us to get hyped. According to the teaser and the early reports, Hex is going to be set in the 16th century Europe, developed by Ubisoft Montreal. Now, we don't know if it's going to be an open-world RPG or something more like Mirage or perhaps something totally different, but we'll probably get more information after Infinity and Red launch. Now, in addition to all those, Ubisoft has confirmed there's going to be another mobile Assassin's Creed game, but this time it's based on the upcoming Netflix series. Now, we really don't know anything about the series other than the fact that it's being written by a very competent team, but Netflix and Ubisoft have confirmed there will be some mobile game companions to the series once it finally comes out. Granted, we have no clue when that's going to be or what, but something to look forward to if you're an AC fan. There's another game in the works right now called Assassin's Creed Invictus, which is going to be a standalone multiplayer game, something entirely new for the franchise. We don't really know anything about the project when it comes to official details, but we do know it will be part of the Infinity platform. We also know that Invictus is the official name, not the code name, which I think is kind of weird. We still only have code names for the mainline games like Red and Hex, which are coming before Invictus, but we know what Invictus is going to be called. Maybe it's closer to release than we think. On top of all those, we also have insider information from none other than Tom Henderson himself that Ubisoft has other projects in the works. We have another single-player game called Assassin's Creed codenamed Nebula, another multiplayer game called Assassin's Creed codenamed Raid, and yet another multiplayer game called Assassin's Creed codenamed Echoes. Yeah, we also have a full remake of Assassin's Creed Black Flag that just entered production according to him. We have intel suggesting there's going to be a sequel to Assassin's Creed Nexus, but it hasn't officially gotten the green light and probably won't until the sales numbers for the first Nexus come in. Not much is known about any of these other projects, but according to inside sources, Nebula will be set in India, the Aztec Empire, and the Mediterranean, although it's unclear what the story will be connecting to in the different locations, and Raid will be a 4-player co-op PvE game. Now, on top of all that, wait, there's more! Some news started recently coming out that Ubisoft has greenlit an Assassin's Creed game set in World War II, which I think is a phenomenal idea. These are also quickly confirmed to be rumors, with no official backing, so it seems to have all started when footage of an AC World War II fan project started circulating the internet. People naturally were hoping it was real and official, so yeah. I'm here to say, I don't think it is. Maybe Ubisoft will take how excited people were and do it, but I don't think there's anything about that. Needless to say, Ubisoft has a lot of stuff in the works for Assassin's Creed, but they also haven't been in the headlines for good reasons recently, so they're going to need to clean up the act before these games hit the market. For those that are out of the loop, Ubisoft has been getting a lot of backlash due to their practice of shutting down what they deem to be inactive accounts on their Uplay service, meaning if you bought games from Uplay, then you haven't been playing lately, Ubisoft can lock your account or revoke your ownership of the games and force you to buy them again, even if you have dozens of hours logged in. Now, it's possible that this has been happening due to some kind of mistake in communication from the top down, but there have been a lot of people sharing screenshots of Ubisoft locking their accounts and telling them they have to rebuy games that they already bought, which is not a good look. They need to fix this now, especially if they're about to go full steam with all this. Nobody on the PC is going to buy games from them anymore, which would be a massive problem because Ubisoft reported a few years ago the PC was actually their most profitable platform. I don't care what anyone says. If you buy a game digitally, you own that game, and a publisher should not be able to take it away from you, even if you don't boot it up for 10 years. It's your decision. You paid your money. That's ridiculous. They got to get that fixed up now. And if they do, like I said, the next 5 to 10 years are going to be pretty crazy if you're an Assassin's Creed fan and you're looking for content. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you soon.